Okay, everyone. Yeah, it's going down again. Back at your reaction video on the news. Uh, what CBS News is putting out there. One of the first ones to break it. Uh, President Trump has officially stated that Chicago looks like it's going to be the next city that they come once they leave D.C. To help out, saying it's grossly incompetent and other adjective words to describe the mayor and the city of Chicago and the citizens and how they want Trump to come, the administration and National Guard to be there because the crime is irate. Everybody knows Chicago's been on the map for a while. But let's watch what they got to say. Get ready, Chicago. They're coming. They're coming in force, man. Get ready.
Up first, developing news tonight. President Trump has made clear Chicago is the next target for federal troops to fight crime. Our Noel Brennan tracked down the mayor today and spoke to a group that welcomes the crackdown despite widespread opposition here in the city.
Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent, and we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this, and it won't even be tough.
A day after President Trump threatens to make Chicago the next stop for the National Guard.
See that, guys? It's real, man. It's going down. It's official. This president is not playing. This administration, Trump administration, is not playing with these sanctuary cities. And you got to get in line. DC, they have made a mark there. The administration, the people want them there. It's been going in the last 12, 13 days now. They are showing numbers very high. Much the criminal element has been suppressed. The people in the community can walk around to parks and everything. You're hearing people feeling good about DC now, about the crime rate that's down. So it's amazing. So whatever was the media was portraying previously, there's a major change in the city of DC, and he's already put sights on Chicago. So, hey, Chicago, get ready, guys. It's coming. The administration, the National Guard, is coming. He said it, and he has a lot of adjectives to describe how he feel about it. So, you just heard him out of his own mouth. So, let's continue on with this video.
Mayor Brandon Johnson, at a block party on the South Side, offers an optimistic portrait of the city.
This is who Chicago really is. What's being painted by the federal government is false. We love one another. We support one another. We put our arms around one another.
In a statement on Friday, the mayor pointed to progress, a reduction in homicides by 30%.
You see that, guys? I had to stop that right there to show you. You see how he's showing it? Look where he's at. He's in a nice neighborhood on the west side, throwing a block party, looking like everything is great. But you seeing the citizens of Chicago, residents are saying it's chaos over there. We've been hearing about all the killings in Chicago recently. So come on, man. You're marketing. You don't want him to come. You're trying to market where it's not being seen that there's a lot of crime going in Chicago. The people are speaking. The citizens are speaking up. America has spoken up, and I think this is the next one. And he's trying to get ahead of that curve to illustrate that Chicago's doing is great. Or they just had a break-in Chicago. I'll talk about that in a minute. But it's crazy. It's crime is high there in Chicago, the city of Chicago. They're pulling up in vehicles, utility SUVs, and backing into Foot Lockers and malls and just robbing it. Chicago's having a lot of problems, the suburbs and the city. But let's continue with this video.
Robberies by 35%, and shootings by almost 40%.
The people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one, but they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago.
Of course, you know who he was referring to. Chicago Flips Red.
Leaders of the conservative group Chicago Flips Red say they have 8 core members, but nationwide support. They welcome the National Guard on Chicago streets.
It needs to happen. It's no law and order.
I mean, if you got the National Guard right there, are you going to rob somebody right there in front of the National Guards? No, you're not.
The president doesn't have authority to send the National
See what's happening, guys? Chicago is serious. The people telling us, speaking, they're putting little groups together, and Chicago flip red. You know, that's the movement now over there. But don't have 8 members. Them the members are loud. And I've been watching the media in Chicago, and I'm listening to the residents in the background, and they're talking to the aldermen's meetings with the mayor, and they're standing up. They're tired. The Chicagoans are tired of what's going on with the crime, and you just heard the citizens. So it's a sincere. So this might be a leeway into the National Guard, the president and sending the National Guard there and call an emergency situation there in Chicago. And I think the mayor is trying to get in front of that. But that's just my thoughts. But I don't know for sure. What do you think about it? Leave a comment down below. Let me know your opinion on what's going on. But the president just stated on national news that Chicago's like going to be the next location. So let's look at the rest of this video and see what they got to say.
Guard to Illinois. That's up to the governor. The ACLU of Illinois argues public safety involves more than just policing, and the National Guard is not the answer.
National Guard are not trained in order to be police officers, in order to collaborate and cooperate with communities. They're trained to do militaristic operations. And so the idea that that's the substitute is really a poor one.
Noel Brennan, CBS News, Chicago.
Yeah, it's really I agree to a certain extent. Yeah, I agree all the way with Chicago. The military is not made as military, like you said, military operations. But when we have domestic situations, then we don't have a lot of police officers on the force. The National Guard can go and deter crime with their presence, and they can reduce the production and allow the police officers to get in and get ahead of some of these crimes that's been been out there they couldn't get to because they didn't got time to be watching this neighborhood or that neighborhood, or they're not able to do their paperwork, or there's not enough officers. Like, there's a lot of officers doing overtime in Chicago because there's not enough. There's hundreds of officers they need. So hey, you got to give support where you can, and the people are calling for support because city councilmen of Chicago, all the political figures are not working with the residents. The residents are feeling the threat of all of this uptick in crime. So hey, I guess it looks like it's going to be the next city. Um, we seen the same thing that was happening in DC before they went there. So when we see in the aftermath, it's clean, it's better. The people working, the police have now came out and stood with the federal government. So we have seen a lot of changes. So hopefully this will get the same similar approval. But it looks like Chicago's is up next. Chicago, like Major League Baseball, Chicago's up next on deck. So hope home run again. Let's see.
Chicago's Mayor Johnson declined to answer our questions today. In a statement yesterday, he said his office had not received any formal communication from the White House about sending those federal troops to Chicago. Of course, we'll stay
All right, guys. Yeah, that's
on top of that.
That's it.